Okay, the Monday, October 6, 2025, Lisbon Town Council meeting is called to order. Our first thing not on the agenda tonight is I'd like to have a moment of silence in recognition of Lisa Crouch, who recently passed away unexpectedly. Lisa was a former council member and did a lot of good things for our town and our county and our community. So if we could just observe a moment of silence. Thank you. Okay, our roll call, Mr. Bob Urich. Here. Mr. Steve Rothgerber. Here. Mrs. Nicole Kish.
Here.
And Bob Fisher. We are all present and accounted for. So we will pause the regular council meeting, and I need a motion to suspend the meeting.
So moved.
Second. Okay, all those in favor, aye.
Aye.
And we move into our adoption of the 2026 budget and salary ordinance meeting. The Lisbon Town Council, we've gone through our budget sessions. We had our first reading a month ago, and tonight will do a second reading of ordinance number 2025-10-06-001, which is the salary and budget ordinance for the town of Lisbon for 2026. This public meeting is for anybody that has comments or questions about the budget. And as we have no public or anyone here to comment, we will take, I think we just need to vote on this for approval. So those in favor of approving the budget as agreed, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes 3-0. Anything else I'm forgetting on technicalities? Do I need to sign this or anything at this time? Just says Town Council Lisbon. Right here.
And then I'll move that we close the public's hearing and return to our regularly scheduled council meeting. Second.
Thank you. Goes to Nicole. So I was not here last month. I was out of town, unfortunately. So Bob and Stephen, the minutes from last month, have you had a chance to review? Any comments or corrections required?
I did not see any.
Okay. Need those in favor of approving the September 8th minutes, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Clerk Treasurer's report.
I'll give these first because I need your signature on all three of them. So there's three to choose on. These are just the financials for the past 3 months.
Okay.
And then the allowance docket for last month and then the bills. And I do need this signed. There's just no lines on it. Mm-hmm.
Anything else on the clerk treasurer's report, just other than the financials? Is this something for me?
Those are the bills for last month. And that does need signed. Sorry, there's just no lines on it, but
See,
That's me.
I became a doctor this month. I became a doctor this month.
I was gonna say that's the shortest rock curve.
I think that's all I have. Were you guys gonna trick-or-treating hours the same as last year? I was gonna post it.
Yeah, what'd we do, 5 to 8, I believe?
5 to 8.
I think so.
Yeah. Been pretty scarce. I don't, it goes in cycles.
Daryl goes through people over there.
We can get that posted. I guess make it 5 to 9. Again, it usually.
It's on a Friday this year, though.
Yeah. Want to go 5 to 9? Anybody opposed to that?
That's fine.
and get that posted on our various social
Should
media.
make it mandatory full-size candy bars too.
What's that?
Mandatory full-size candy bars handed out.
Right. Unfortunately, I'll be in Pittsburgh handing it out when my grandsons go out at the neighborhood, so. Town attorney report, did we get any response from Ariel on that letter?
I have not, she did send a letter to them. I have not heard back from what they are doing. I don't think, or she has not said if he has written her back yet, but she did send a letter out to him.
Okay, so she did respond to the attorney
Oh,
about some of the mistakes in the letter, maybe?
Yes.
Town of Lisbon.
Yeah.
What the heck's her last name? Patricia.
Williams.
That's right.
And no payments either.
No payments yet.
I did notice on that topic, there's a truck at the house over the weekend, maybe. Just I've only seen it once, but looks like they're working again.
Okay.
So you guys saw the letter. Okay. Any questions on that? Or do we have
No.
any other legal issues with take up with Ariel right now?
The,
Is
the
that,
only thing I was gonna discuss that when we got to utility was, we met with the potential new operators. But Lou mentioned that he seemed to recall that we had an escalation agreement at one time with Asbury. He's not sure if that's phased out or if we still have that as an agreement. And then he also suggested maybe we just let Ariel look over their contract and
Okay.
agreement just
Right
to see
now-
if there's any gotchas in it.
And right now we only have their proposal, right? I didn't see a contract.
No, right now it's just their bid or quote.
Okay. We'll discuss that.
Yeah.
Fire report, none. We did sign I put the last signature on their contract, and they have kind of acknowledged their lack of attendance, so we'll see if that makes a difference. John, great report as typical. Any comments from the Marshal's Department?
Busier than most months last month, a lot higher than it was last year at this time, but still right about average from last year to this year, so no spike in crime in Lisbon. The speed sign's been down on 39 just south of the high school, clocking northbound. I'm gonna move it Saturday to southbound directly in front of the high school entrance on 39. There's a pole right there, it's perfect. So I like to keep it in the school zone during some of these school hours. So I think it's been down there on the south side for 4 months. I will report next month for you, so give you
What,
some numbers.
just curious, what did that run expense wise?
The sign,
Yeah,
4 or 5,000.
Yeah.
okay.
It performs really. We had that repaired too, but it really performs well. It's nice. You don't have to do any maintenance on it. It's got solar panels and it just does its thing. It'll be interesting to see what numbers I pull off because it's been down there for 4 months. So
Yeah.
I'll better get some decent
Just
numbers.
curious if it was having an effect if a secondary one would,
Yeah, I don't know.
Or if
That
we-
means I got to move to there.
well, or,
They're not the easiest thing in the world to move. I think it'll ladder out and everything.
or becoming more permanent and
Yeah.
just,
The problem is when you go permanent, then people start kind of overlooking it. They start getting used to it. So it's kind of nice to surprise people. And, we're so busy up here. I definitely want to move it up there, but, in the evening speeds aren't that much because there's so much traffic. But we'll see what it does. I'll get the numbers off of where it's at now, get those to you, and then I'll reverse it. It'll be right in front of the school zone. So
How
we'll
much
better
are they?
track it.
how much are the ones in the carts that have the red and white and blue lights on it? Because those,
Oh, those the like what Pittsburgh's got and stuff. Those don't collect data. Like those are just basically dumb signs.
slow down.
Yeah.
The sign we got's a smart sign, so I can actually do data extraction on it and
Okay.
tell Eric when they're speeding the most or particular times and days of the week. So
Okay.
it's a smart one. So it costs a bit more. It doesn't have all the bells and whistles, but
Yeah.
I think when
John,
you do the red and blues, they all know it's fake.
the data that we get from that, is that like download to like a Excel or something?
Yeah, it definitely does. You can download to an Excel. It's got its own software within the program. It's got its own software package that you can import into, and it gives you a detailed report, pie graphs, and all that good stuff. So,
Well, what I'm getting at, since we're in the police department, that's great data to have, and again, you can kind of focus efforts. But that's also data we can provide to NDOT, because I think, number one, we have a humongous problem up at the ramp, the westbound ramp, exit ramp, it was backed all the way out on the interstate today.
Yeah, I'm getting ready to touch on that point here next.
Yeah. Okay. So along that lines, there are things, just like the signal out here at the intersection, it has to be what they call warranted, and they have to do traffic studies. And NDOT continuously is doing traffic counts all over the place. I don't know whether they've got any ITS type devices picking stuff up, but we have a problem, and it's a sight distance problem and a volume problem. And they're going to say, well, it's one time a day. Well, it's a little bit more now. We got, with all I'm seeing an increase of truck traffic north to south heading up to all the development in Lebanon. We have a very dangerous situation. So I'm reaching out to NDOT as the town, not as my job, but and seeing what we can do.
Well, I'm glad you led into it, because that was point 3 on my report. So Eric got that recycle center person. I can't remember the person that runs that up there, but he talked to Eric.
Minor
Yeah, he talked to Eric. He lives right on the corner right here. Right?
on shock.
Talked to Eric about possibly they're having problems. Well, the reason why the interstate was backed up today more than ever is because I was sitting there at 900 North and 39. So, and I stopped 3 people. The problem with it is the recycle center, they're upset that people are turning around. They don't want to make a big scene out of it, but they're concerned about it. They block the entrance and they turn around. It's kind of dangerous, I guess, and it is dangerous. You got 5 roads right there, 5 points of contact right there at that intersection. DOT's complained. So when Eric went to DOT, he talked to the DOT representative. They were complaining about it, and they said a study had been done recently at that intersection. Exactly what you said. It's a particular time. It doesn't have the volume from start to finish during the day. It's just one particular time, which is in the evenings between 3:30 and 5:30 at night. With that said, they're complaining. So Eric and I looked into it, and Eric did some enforcement. I think he stopped like 9 or 10 cars the other day ago. The problem is there's no statute out there for a safe and courteous U-turn. So we can't stop them for that. They can do a U-turn right there in the intersection. There's no code anymore that there's no other code that fits the bill saying they can't turn around in the driveway either, as long as they're doing it in a safe manner. The ones I'm getting them on today, and what Eric got them on too, was the stop sign. So what they're doing is not only are they doing a U-turn to avoid the long backup, but they're also turning a corner, not stopping. So we're stopping them from that, and then also mentioning that, hey, this isn't the safest way of doing this. You might just want to wait your turn and be patient. So we're stopping them for stop sign violations, and then letting them know what the complaints are and why the complaints are there, and hopefully I'll do some damage. I mean, I've noticed a lot of people now we're sending all the traffic down 900 North, West, and it's dead end. So they're all turning around, they come right back out. It's funny because they see me, and they either go right or left, usually left, because that way they can make a right-hand turn on southbound 39, and they have to go down and turn around in the first driveway and come back. So now we're going to get complaints on 900 North that cars are turning around in their driveways because we're sitting there or they're trying to avoid, us. So, yeah, it's a train wreck right now. So we're going to keep enforcing it and at least let our presence be known, maybe stop the U-turns at least. I think most people think it's illegal, which it's not. As long as it's done in a safe manner, it's on a hill crest or turn or curve. So it's kind of a bad situation.
We get a lot of traffic northbound in the mornings from Danville. There's a lot of people commute from Danville up through here to
Because
get.
they can't get through Avon. And
Exactly.
36 is so backed up.
Exactly.
And then, like you said, I've noticed. I mean, I live that way. I've noticed a significant increase in traffic.
Dump
Just
trucks.
tonight, matter of fact.
Dump trucks.
All of the southbound traffic coming out of Lebanon, it's coming down to 74. So, yeah, it's definitely an issue. And there were some close calls already. Some cars that pulled off from the ramp that I thought for sure were going to get clocked
gonna
today
get
while I was sitting there.
Worse too, they're building a data center in Lebanon.
I'm going to put a post out on Facebook. I'm trying to find the right words for it because, like I said,
And again, it's like anything, we want a stop sign, we want a stop light, we want a this, we want a that. At some point, it has to be necessary in terms of traffic engineering. And like they put up lighting, that's a start, so at least that, it's, heck, I think it's easier to get out there at night because you can actually see the headlights coming northbound because of the height of the bridge rail and stuff. So it's definitely a sight distance issue. And
Pittsburgh has the exact same problem, if not worse, because they have all those trucks wanting to turn southbound, and the trucks are what hold you up because they're so much slower to turn.
I happen to know there's a project right now being designed on I-74, major repaving and a lot of drainage stuff, ramp work, all this kind of stuff by some company that's designing it. So I don't know the full scope of that one, but I'm going to reach out to a couple people I know at NDOT Crawfordsville and just say, hey, we've got an issue. So, and that's one of my top priorities. I had recently reached out regarding a couple of other issues, one being a sinkhole in the Rusted Silo driveway over the drive culvert, and NDOT's gracefully said that's not our responsibility. I'm gonna work with the owner there and fill that in. And then the post at 800 across from hair salon, Audrey Bear has mentioned that many times, and the county won't accept it, the state won't accept it. It's actually not in town limits. That property at the corner of 800 is not in the town. It's not even annexed in.
What's wrong with the post?
The street, with the 839 got knocked over in the cyclone. So, I asked Brad to go straighten it up, and he acted like that was something he couldn't do. So, one way or another, I'm going to get a new post put in, and we'll get the signs and put up.
Eric will do it. He likes doing it.
Yeah.
He put the truck signs up.
Sorry to hijack your report. Anything else for?
No, that's all I really got. Oh, I am going to be on vacation. I'm leaving Sunday till Friday, and then Eric's leaving. Eric will be in town, but Eric's leaving I think a week after me for 2 weeks, so he's going to Florida. So just FYI, I'll send an email out to remind you.
Appreciate it. Don't think we have anything on the building inspector report side. Really the only thing we have open up on Lebanon is Brainer's redo of that house and such. So probably we'll need to reach out to Daryl and see if he's got a time to get by there and do some checks as necessary. Utilities report, as Bob was mentioning earlier, we got a quote from another company to help manage the wastewater treatment plant and the water system.
Yes.
I didn't dig into the numbers too far, but I think it's far more economical than Asbury. So I think we need to review that a little bit more in depth and probably get that acted on here by the end of the year and move forward with them. I would love for them to maybe come to a meeting and we can have just a meet and greet afterwards or something.
Yeah.
You think that if you would make that contact, Bob? Any other issue, kind of doing our due diligence there. It's something we got to keep up on.
Can you forward to Ariel a copy of the contract or
Yep.
agreement? Just see if she sees anything that we should be cautious of in that, or any procedural actions we should take, and if we and closing that out and move on.
And again, it's nothing wrong with Asbury. It's simply cost.
Yeah.
And so different size companies, things like that. So
I put a call in the Daryl. He said they'd take a look at it. I've not heard back yet, but the flat roof on the lab apparently has been leaking. And we weren't notified of that until I asked questions as to if all the lights went out at once or if they had gradually gone out, and then was told, well, it's probably from the roof leaking. So that's when I knew the roof was leaking. So
you called Daryl Marks, you said?
yeah.
So are we gonna get a quote to maybe put a false roof over it, flat roofs, or just?
He was going to look at it, and he said if they thought that was the direction to go, he'd put something together on that.
We follow up with him? I don't know
Yeah.
how long it was.
It was
If I
last
see-
week, so
Okay.
he said they'd get down there and take a look at it, that he still knew how to get in there.
One thing I was thinking about as we head towards winter here, and that's always the scary time for a water utility, knock on wood, we don't have problems, but things freeze, we get a real bad cold, you could have a main break and that kind of stuff. So like to maybe see if Josh could attend next month's meeting, just so we can talk about response contacts. I know we've talked about Justin Dorsey in the past. Do we want to put any other feelers? I know Fox can do certain things. There's other contractors that we've used, like the guy with the back truck the one time and things like that. So I want to get that list spiffed up before winter time. I'm sure Josh has some really good contacts as well. So if we could invite him, would you send him a note?
Yep.
Any other utility topics? Okay. Town engineer report, I didn't see anything from Lou. The community crossing is open for submissions, and he and Jonathan were supposed to be taking care of that. I am doing a little bit of looking at how we were building the past by Triad versus how we're being billed by VS. Again, similar to the utilities, we are looking at qualifications-based type services, but for a town the size of Lisbon, we do have to consider what the costs are, So I think that's something we need to discuss. We talked about it a little bit. And again, open to suggestions, whether we do another RFP for engineering services. Well, it doesn't matter to me. I just think we need to look at that and do our due diligence. So, anything from OW Crone?
No,
Okay. Nothing from Dan Lake.
no report.
Maintenance report from Brad. Let's dive into this thing. So again, he's got a series of questions that as we were discussing earlier, we thought we'd answered these, but apparently we didn't. He says we still need a trailer, and I'm assuming that's so he can haul the tractor to and from service appointments. Is that a cost we want to justify for using it a couple times a year? That was my only thought on that. And do we remember what the quote was that he had?
Edwards, it's like $100 for a pickup.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking.
Come
So
get it.
They come get it and bring it back to you. I use it.
Get him over.
okay, selling the old truck and selling the old John Deere, I thought we said do it. I mean, we can literally set it out there at the plant, and if interested, they can call and leave a message here, and one of us can contact people back or go down and meet them to look at them and things like that. So. Or do we want to put them somewhere else?
I think that's the safest place. It's locked up. I mean,
I don't know whether we need to pull them in at night.
put it here. I can put it here or whatever, I guess.
The only other thought I had was asking Gary Wood if we could temporarily park them where the old recycle center was. It's right by the fire station. There's plenty of lighting around there. That's kind of one of the things he's talked to me about. He tried to do that once upon a time, and Dan sent him a nasty gram about his sign and things like that. So he just backed off. So that may be a future thing. New plow or old plow swap onto new Chevy, still need answer. And I thought,
Old plow on a new truck.
Yeah, but the only thing I suggested was if he had pricing to make all the changes compared to what a new one would be, that we might find they may charge as much taking all the equipment off the old one, putting on the new one, as opposed to just installing new on the new truck. But that was the only thing I threw out there, was just for comparison, but I don't know if the pricing ever came up with or not.
that's a good point. And it says order and set time for new spreader harness and new Chevy. Again, I thought we were okay with that. It's still on here. The only thing it says here, new plow is 10,000 plus minus. Current one is 16 years old. Then he says you got to purchase salt for winter 25.
They already
Okay.
did.
Already that done. And then he says something about a loading ramp at water plant for salt.
It's already been delivered this year.
Okay.
Or wait, he's picking it up.
Okay. And we have a new big tractor with forks on it. He should be able to get it to wherever it needs to be. If there's something specific, and this is where I get confused or frustrated, it's like, I get what you're saying. Come to us with a solution. Don't just come to us with a question. So I tried to empower him to do that, and got 10 questions. So we need to just have a chat with Brad, and I'll reach out to him and try to do that soon. So, and you guys will all talk to him. Projections, he's got seasonal maintenance, trim trees, purchase chainsaw, Thought we had chainsaws. Maybe not. Okay. The 911 street name sign order question mark. Don't know what he's talking about. November seasonal maintenance, trim trees, potential burn, sign inventory, and motor deck service. So, anyway, that's any questions, comments on the maintenance report and what we need to do? All right. Technology. I think our technology is fantastic. It's a little slow starting up, but that's okay.
So I have 3 updates version of plan for the automation software that run through probably the end of next year, knowing the way my schedule is. One of those plans is to be able to, at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, or when it goes free, is to have it automatically prep all of that so that when meeting time comes, she can just come in and tap the one button that switches to the camera, rather than having to do all the YouTube stuff and the broadcast software stuff. That's why we're all sitting and waiting. So there, if I can figure it out, there will be a little bit of relief there in the future.
I'm happy with the new email. That's working great, except for that AIM thing I'm on with all the clerk treasurers chiming in on the, they got some kind
So
of check.
if you'd like some time, I don't know if I'm going to decide if you'd like some time, we can set up some rules in your mailbox.
I get a kick out of it, actually.
Okay.
No, he likes it.
It's just a lot.
Yeah.
Uh,
I
and,
have a couple other clerks that actually have separate mailboxes just for those 2 mailings.
Yeah. Anything else on your end?
One other quick thing, I believe starting probably at the beginning of the year, based on some experiences and the most recent one today, we're going to enforce the use of some security software to monitor Microsoft 365. It's not a huge cost. I think for the whole town, it's going to probably be less than $100 a quarter. But what it does is it monitors, it's a behavior-based thing that watches things that happen in Microsoft 365, basically to make sure emails are compromised. The big thing is for Nicole, so that her emails are compromised, and threat attackers use her email to get into other things, to do other things, to compromise the town's bank accounts and financials. And of course, we had another customer lose $60,000 this morning because of that. So this isn't their first go around with it,
Yeah.
and they resisted using this exact software before, but we just flipped it on. And because of it happening there, I had issues with another town a few weeks ago, and it's their second time this year, and then there was another town. I mean, you're a very small organization. You know, you're not a target until somebody finds you.
Yep.
And then you are. So I think it's important that we go ahead and get in there, get ahead of the curve, and make sure that we know what's going on, so that when something unexpected does happen, we're ready to deal with it and not
Very good.
kind of blind with it.
No arguments here. Any old business to attend to? Any new business to attend to? I think we talked a lot about several new concerns around town, but anything else? Okay, citizens' comments. I need a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor, aye.
Aye.
We're adjourned.